My name is Ellen. I'm sitting in my new one-bedroom apartment, enjoying the quiet morning. It's been 6 months since my divorce was finalized, and I've finally found peace. No more backpacks in the hallway, no more slammed doors, and no more walking on eggshells in a house I helped fund but never truly belonged to. But it wasn't always like this. I remember the day everything fell apart like it was yesterday. It was a Saturday morning, and I'd just asked Ethan, my husband Tom's 15-year-old son from his previous marriage, to move his laundry out of the living room. He'd responded with a simple, "Make me." That's when Tom walked in and said the words that ended our marriage, "Say sorry to my son right now, or we're done." I looked at him, really looked, and finally understood. This was never my home. For a moment, I honestly thought I'd misheard him. "Say that again," I said quietly. Tom didn't raise his voice. He didn't soften it either. That was the part that scared me most. "Apologize to my son," he repeated, nodding toward Ethan, who was standing there with his arms crossed, laundry still spread across the floor like a territorial marker. "For how you've been treating him, or we're done." The room felt smaller, like the walls had leaned in to listen. "You're giving me an ultimatum," I said. "Yes," Tom replied without hesitation. "Right now." Ethan's mouth twitched. Not a smile exactly. Something smug. Something practiced. "I haven't treated him badly," I said. "I asked him to follow basic household rules." "Ellen," Tom warned. "Just apologize. Be the bigger person." I looked at Ethan. 15. Old enough to know exactly what was happening. Old enough to know he'd won. "Do you think you've done anything wrong?" I asked him. He shrugged. "She's always on my case." Tom stepped closer to me. "Say it. Let's move on." And suddenly, everything snapped into focus. This wasn't about peace. This was about power. If I apologized now, I would be apologizing for existing in my own home. For expecting respect. For believing partnership meant standing beside each other, not one behind the other. I shook my head. "No." Tom blinked. "No? I'm not apologizing for having boundaries," I said. His jaw tightened. "Then pack your things." Something in my chest went still. "Okay," I said. "What?" Tom asked. "Okay," I repeated, walking past him toward the hallway. Ethan's smirk faltered. "Wait," Tom followed me. "You're really doing this? You're choosing your pride over our marriage?" I grabbed my jacket. "I'm choosing self-respect over being a doormat," I said. "You're being dramatic," Tom said. "No," I said, slipping my arms into the sleeves. "I'm finally being honest." Tom looked genuinely shocked. Like he'd expected me to cave, to cry, to say sorry and clean up the mess. Like I always did. I picked up my keys. "You're just going to leave?" he asked. "Yes," I said. Ethan stood frozen in the living room now, the confidence draining from his face. I walked out the door, closed it behind me, and sat in my car for a full minute before turning the engine on. My hands were shaking. Not from fear, from relief. I pulled out my phone and made one quiet call. "Hi," I said when my lawyer answered. "I need your help. I think I'm getting divorced." That call changed everything. I checked into a mid-range hotel that afternoon. It was clean, neutral, and designed to feel like nowhere. Which at that moment was exactly what I needed. I put my bag down, locked the door, and sat on the edge of the bed for a long time without turning on a single light. Then I turned my phone off. For the first time in 3 years, no one needed anything from me. When I turned it back on a few hours later, the screen lit up like it was angry with me. 17 missed calls. 12 from Tom, 5 from numbers I didn't recognize. I listened to the voicemails in order. The first was clipped, irritated. Where are you? You can't just leave. Come home. The second was sharper. This is ridiculous, Ellen. We're married. The third was pure dismissal. Fine. Stay gone. But you're blowing this out of proportion. The fourth made my throat tighten. Please, Tom said, his voice cracking. Come back. We can fix this. I didn't call him back. I texted instead. I'm at a hotel. I need time. Please don't call me. I'll reach out when I'm ready. The reply came instantly. Which hotel? Tom asked. I'm not telling you, I replied. This is insane, he said. What's insane is giving your wife an ultimatum and expecting her to thank you for it, I said. Silence. I ordered room service, turned the TV on low, and tried to slow my breathing. Around 10 p.m. My phone buzzed again. His mom called. Ethan's really upset. He didn't think you'd actually leave, Tom texted. I stared at the message for a long moment before replying. Maybe he'll learn that actions have consequences. That's cruel, Tom said. No. It's consistent. I told you what I needed. Neither of you listened, I replied. Sunday morning, my lawyer called me back. He didn't sugarcoat anything. If you want to separate, he said, you need to be careful. There's a child involved. I'm not his mother, I said. That doesn't always matter, he replied. If you've acted in a parental role, they could argue abandonment or even support. My stomach dropped. What should I do? I asked. Document everything, he said. Every instance where you were undermined, every financial contribution, every time you were told you had no authority. So I did. I spent Sunday writing. Every argument, every dismissed boundary, every time Tom told me, you're not his mother. By Monday, I was exhausted but clear. Tom texted about bills. I told him I'd pay my half directly. No in-person discussions, I wrote. Text or email only. He called me childish. I called it boundaries. Tuesday afternoon, his mother called. Why are you doing this to my son? She demanded. I'm not, I said calmly. I'm refusing to be treated like a paycheck. That boy needs a maternal figure, she said. That boy needs accountability, I replied. She hung up on me. An hour later, Tom texted. If you don't come back, I'm filing. Then file, I replied. I wasn't bluffing. I got served the papers on Wednesday. Not at home, obviously, at my office. A man in a gray suit asked for me by name, handed me an envelope, and said, "You've been served," like he was ordering coffee. I sat at my desk for a full minute after he left, staring at my computer screen without seeing a single word. Tom had filed for divorce. Irreconcilable differences. That part didn't surprise me. What did surprise me was the rest. He was requesting spousal support and child support for Ethan. I felt something cold move through my chest. Not panic, not anger, disbelief. I called my lawyer immediately. He's asking for support for a child that isn't mine, I said. There was a pause on the line, then a sigh. Did you act in a parental role? He asked. I helped financially, I said. I lived in the house. I tried to set boundaries, but I was repeatedly told I wasn't his mother and had no authority. Good, my lawyer said. That matters. For the next few weeks, my life turned into documentation. Texts, emails, bank statements, screenshots where Tom told me, "You're not his mother." Messages where he overruled me in front of Ethan. Conversations where I asked for counseling and was told I was overreacting. Every word I'd once swallowed to keep the peace became evidence. Tom's lawyer tried to argue I'd acted as a maternal figure. Mine countered with proof that I'd been actively prevented from being one. You can't demand parental responsibility, my lawyer said in court, while simultaneously denying parental authority. The judge listened. Really listened. When my lawyer read aloud Ethan's text, "This isn't your house. You just live here," I watched Tom's shoulders slump. That sentence had been meant to hurt me. Instead, it freed me. The settlement took 4 months. Tom kept the house, but he had to refinance and buy out my equity. No spousal support, no child support. The ruling was clear. I had no ongoing obligation to a child whose authority I was never allowed to exercise. I walked out of the courthouse lighter than I'd felt in years. Later, I heard through mutual friends that Tom was struggling. The mortgage was tight. Ethan was acting out. Classes were being failed. Tom's mother called once more, asking if I'd reconsider helping for Ethan's sake. I said no. My obligation ended the moment I was told to apologize or leave. Looking back, I realize I ignored the red flags early on. Tom and I had dated for 2 years before getting married. I knew he had a son, and I thought I was prepared for the challenges of a blended family. But I was naive. I thought love would be enough to navigate it. The first time Tom undermined me in front of Ethan, I brushed it off. The first time I was told, "You're not his mother," like it was a boundary instead of a weapon, I didn't think much of it. I thought if I tried harder, things would balance out. But they never do when the system is rigged. I started therapy shortly after the papers were signed. Not because I missed Tom, but because I needed to understand why I'd stayed as long as I did. Why I'd convinced myself that love meant endurance. The truth was uncomfortable, but it was also liberating. I'm dating again now. Slowly, carefully, and I'm clear from the start. I'm not a step ATM. I'm not a background character in someone else's family story. I'm a partner, or I'm nothing. Because the moment someone tells you to apologize for having boundaries or leave, leaving is the only self-respecting choice.